G'day and thanks for joining me. Well, Whistler shenanigans, and there's been lots of shenanigans today, and I just wanted to pop in and have a quick chat with you. And also, I've had a chance to step back and have a think about the whole Sussex.com thing, and I want to have a chat to you about that as well. I've got a theory about the Sussex.com thing, and it all came together when I heard a source close to Harry and Meghan announced today that the Sussexes are demanding that their bios on the royal family website are updated to reflect the changes and the updated bios that have just been recently published on Sussex.com. And it was at that moment that I thought, aha, hence the rushed launch of Sussex.com. Now, it's been interesting to observe Harry and Meghan over the last few years, and one thing I've noticed is that their MO is preemptive attacks. They're always on the front foot. When they feel under threat from the royal family or from the press, they always get on the front foot. Now, usually it doesn't go very well. Usually it's a disaster. They get lots of negative press and it doesn't have the outcome that they probably wanted. But they are always on the front foot. They do the preemptive attack. And the reason why they do that is they are always determined to save face. Now, I think this saving face came about because they got wind that the royal family were actually going to update the royal family website. And I don't think that they got wind that they were going to lose their titles or they were going to actually be booted off the whole website. Nothing that delicious. No, I don't think so. I think that's a bit pie in the sky and it's not going to happen. Well, not this week anyway, but we can always hope. But I think they got wind that the bios were going to be updated. In Harry's case, and I'm paraphrasing, it refers to the fact that he is fulfilling his duty to the King and the Commonwealth. In Meghan's, again paraphrasing, it refers to her doing duty to the monarch and the Commonwealth. And I think in his 12-minute meeting when he fled across the pond to the UK, I think Harry got wind that those parts were going to be updated in their bios. And I think it caused a bit of panic because by just updating two rather sloppy sentences, it really removes a lot of connection with the royal family. Hence the launch of Sussex.com, the preemptive attack. And now when the royal family do actually update the website, which I think is imminent, they'll be able to say, well, we asked for the update. We told them to update it. We wanted the bios to be updated to reflect what we published the other day in Sussex.com. So I think that's what all of this was all about, because it did seem rather a rushed launch. The other thing really interesting about the Sussex.com website, as others have referred to it, is the fact that Meghan is only using her crest of arms. Meghan is only using her coat of arms. And I can't help thinking that she's setting herself up for a post-Harry life, a post-royal connected life. Well, connected with Harry anyway, because it could quite easily be changed to the office of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, as long as she doesn't remarry. The other thing that's interesting is when they did the Jamaica trip, that was actually posted up as news on their Archwell website, and it just didn't seem to fit. It didn't fit Archwell Productions. It certainly didn't fit Archwell Foundation. And so that sort of awkward B-grade news, you know, those awkward appearances, that now has a lovely new home on Sussex.com. I mean, if Harry's going to be a rent-a-royal and go off and present awards in Las Vegas, you know, it gives it a home, it gives them a place. They can sort of display that rather tacky and tawdry news. It's sort of like rent a Duke and Duchess. I wonder if they're going to give discounts. Now on to Whistler, and this is a little bit sad, I think, because even though it's delightful to be able to mock them, I think it's sad because yet again it is taking away from the veterans. It's taking away from the dignity of the Invictus Games. And I've been really sad to hear today that people are withdrawing their donations and they're, you know, having second thoughts about donating to Invictus. And that's a tragedy. And it's because they flew in on a private jet and people are worried that funds are being misspent. People are worried that money that should go to the veterans are being spent on private planes or luxury resort penthouse rooms or outfits for the next few days or photographers to follow them around. And they find that really upsetting because, of course, that money could be better spent. And it's unfortunate that this B-grade reality tacky show is detracting from the real stars of the show. And the real stars of the show are, of course, the veterans, the athletes that are going to take part in the games next year at Whistler. And it's their training camp, and it's their moment of pride, and it's their launch. And tacky little Harry and Meghan are detracting from the whole thing. Now, if they really cared about veterans, you would think they would realise that, and they would clarify about funds, and they would clarify that they're covering their own expenses, if indeed they are, and you would think that even they would consider stepping back, because can't they see they're hurting it? They're hurting the Invictus Games. The other thing I did think of is, when Prince William settled with the newspapers and he got that rather large $1 million settlement, well, he donated that to Invictus. And I'm thinking, hey, Harry, didn't you just get a settlement? Why don't you donate that to Invictus? Finally, I guess the most tacky image that came out of today was the fact when Harry was trying to shake that person's hand and Meghan sort of bundled her way in front of him and gave the person a big hug. But the embarrassing thing was Harry was still holding on. He was still holding on to the person's hand, and Meghan was just completely ignoring him and stepping in for the hug. And Harry was just sort of awkwardly looking down, still attached. Oh, it was embarrassing. It just proves that money cannot buy manners. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. I can't wait to hear, and I'll be back very soon with another episode of The Housekeeper's Diary. I'm actually going to record it right now. See you then. Bye.